Hey everybody, this is Pastor Daniel here, and this is Thursday. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, right? Yeah, I think it is. We want to continue our daily DEVOs, and actually we're going to be starting something brand new and actually dive into a couple of books of the Bible and kind of do more of like a Bible study type thing. So if there's a couple of books in the New Testament called Luke and Acts. And we want to dive into those and do kind of, like I said, a Bible study of those. They're really cool because they're written by the same guy, Luke, and so he was a traveling co-worker with the Apostle Paul, who a lot of the New Testament is written by, and a lot of the Book of Acts is about. And so Luke writes the Gospel of Luke about Jesus and about what Jesus did, his ministry and stuff. And then he goes on to kind of like a sequel, if you will, or a second volume, like volume 2, and it's the Book of Acts. And so we want to dive into that, to those two, and kind of look at them as one big story. So it's we want to be able to do that. And so tonight we're just kind of introduce it, really just in the first two chapters of Luke, and we'll be talking about those for maybe a couple of nights or so, maybe tonight and tomorrow night. Friday, we'll end off with for this. But what's cool is that there's some really great resources. If you've heard me talk about Bible Project before, you know that I love it. I love Bible Project. You can find them on YouTube. You can Google Bible Project. And so a lot of the information that we're getting for this is from Bible Project. So check out their videos. I'll put a link below or to the side or wherever, so that you can go find those. But a lot of the information we'll be finding from that. So if you start off right at so let's do this, okay? You start off the book of Luke. You can tell that they're written by the same guy, and they're for the same reason, all that kind of stuff. You can compare the first few verses of Luke and the first few verses of Acts, and they sound very similar. You can tell he's kind of writing to this guy who is probably the sponsor of it. He's paying to get this written. But in the first couple of chapters of Luke is the introduction, and so let me go back a little bit. So the first 4 verses of Luke tells you the why and the how. So he's why he's writing. So Luke, he writes this orderly account about the things that have been fulfilled among us. So the why is he consults, he talks to eyewitnesses, the traditions of what's been going on, and then the why is to show how the story of Jesus fulfills the story of God and Israel and the whole world. So there's a how and why. He wants to let you know up front, this is how, this is why. So let's dive in right here. Okay, so he starts with the story and about the births of John, who we know as John the Baptist, and Jesus, really not known as anything else. There's a lot of Johns in the Bible, so we need, we kind of separate them with different surnames and stuff. So John the Baptist, and then Jesus. So he kind of parallels the story of their birth. The first one he talks about is John, and John's parents, their names are Zechariah and Elizabeth. They are old, and they don't have any kids. They're barren, which means they can't have kids. And it kind of reminds me of another story in Genesis where it talks about the story is about Abraham and Sarah, and they're super old too. They don't have any kids, but yet God promises them a child. And so going back to the New Testament with Zechariah and Elizabeth, they don't have any children. Again, super old. And later in the story, Zechariah praises God. It said, "May the Lord God of Israel be praised," because they do end up having a son, and they name him John. He becomes John the Baptist. That's why they're his parents. But it's this unlikely, both John and Jesus, their parents are promised a child, right? So if you look at Zechariah and Elizabeth, God promises them a child. Unlikely, hey, we're old, we don't have children. Also, when the angel appears to Mary, who's the mother of Jesus, it's unlikely she's going to have a child because she's a virgin, which means she's not married. And number two, she's never been intimate with a man before, if you know what I mean. So she's never had sex. That's what I meant. And so it's unlikely that she's going to have a child. But with these two stories being parallel like that, it's really a supernatural thing. And so John, who will end up being the prophetic messenger who prepares Israel to meet their God, is born. And then actually Elizabeth and Mary are related. And so so Jesus and John are kind of like cousins. So John he's going to be the messenger who's going to proclaim that there's a Messiah coming. And then Jesus, who's going to be the messianic king, he's that Messiah who will bring God's reign and blessing. And what's cool is, so the story of John's birth, the story of Jesus' birth, is in Luke chapter 1 and 2. Later, in chapter 2, Mary and Joseph, who Joseph becomes Mary's husband, and kind of like the earthly father of Jesus, they go to the temple. And these two prophets, these elderly prophets named Anna and Simeon, they see Jesus and they recognize him. Even as a baby, they recognize that this is the Son of God. And Simeon has this little poem song thing, and it says, and he says, "My eyes have seen your salvation," talking to God. And so he's seen Jesus. He knows, because he can see, with those prophetic eyes, that he the supernatural is there. Jesus is there. And so he says, "I have seen your salvation." It's likely that Anna and Simeon, because they're already elderly, that they probably didn't live to see Jesus, his ministry and things like that. But you never know. But it was cool that even as a baby, they both recognized the Son of God. So I kind of want to end there, and we'll continue this tomorrow with probably maybe diving a little bit deeper in Luke 1 and 2. We might go ahead and start chapter 3. But I would really encourage you to read those two chapters. They're not very long. Well, chapter 1 is pretty long, but it's still nothing too heavy to read. Watch the videos that I'll link to and that I talk about. And I think they'll be hugely beneficial. It'll give you a leg up on what we're talking about. You'll probably hear me go, "Oh, I've already seen that video. I know what you're going to talk about." Well, that's fine. That's okay. Do your own research. And I think this is going to be very good. So we'll be doing this Bible series of Luke and Acts, or this Bible study of Luke and Acts. We'll also pepper in some interviews with people, talking to people that I know, people that I think would benefit you. Going to be getting Miss Liz in on some of these pretty soon, because she's really cool and has a lot of awesome things to say, and I love her, and she's way cooler than me. So I want to get her involved in some of this daily DEVO stuff, and some people that I know from back in my life involved too. And then I would love to be able to get some of our youth leaders and let them be able to talk to y'all if the technology allows it. So again, stay safe, stay home, stay healthy, social distance, practice that all you can. And we will, hopefully, as soon as we can, we'll meet back up on Wednesday nights. And, man, we miss you guys. We miss you. We miss seeing your faces every Wednesday, every Sunday. But we know that this is not the end. We choose faith over fear. You've probably heard me say that a whole lot. But I believe it. I believe that this is not going to be something that keeps us down. this too shall pass, and we will. I believe that we'll come out on the other side with, I think, a better understanding and a deeper understanding of life. I think that this is an awesome opportunity to do some reflection, some inner searching, and I believe that with God's help, we'll be able to see life in a whole new way. And so I'm praying for you, whether you know it or not. I'm praying for you. I'm praying that God blesses you and that He helps you use this time to grow in wisdom, stature, and favor with God and men. Love you. Hope you have a great day. Peace out. Oh, we also found a winner for the Starbucks gift card. They've been contacted. If you weren't contacted, then guess what? It wasn't you. But we'll be posting that shortly, probably tomorrow, about who won. And so we'll be doing some other giveaways. I've got more Starbucks gift cards. Actually, here's one right now. We want to be giving that one away probably next week. So peace out. We love you. Okay, bye.